Okay,
All
officially
right.
starting our recording.
Okay.
I have Karol Houtman. Houtman?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah.
She is a member of Pace Morby's Sub 2 group. And that is
Mm-hmm.
literally all I know about this woman. So I am Laura Johnson, and my new YouTube channel slash soon to be podcast slash everything is going to be called Go Shock and Awe,
I love that.
where I'm just going to deep dive into just people's stories about what kind of makes them tick on the inside, and like seriously be a big cheerleader for that person to just go and literally shocking all the world is really kind of where I'm coming from. So I am a curious person by nature, and so I'm just excited to go into your story, kind of where you are right now in your. I don't know if you're a real estate investor, if you are just a wholesale, like where you are in the process,
Sure.
and we'll just start there.
Okay. Well, I have been in sub two since April, joined in April this year, and actually very, very new to real estate. I've always liked it. I've always really kind of wanted to dive into it. Um, and so my strategy right now, the more that actually it was my grandson who kind of like gave me the bug a little bit.
Oh, that's
Um,
fun.
yeah, and he's in Michigan, so I have two markets, Texas as well as Michigan,
Okay.
and so I got, like I said, I got the bug from him, real estate investing.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, though she is working with United Airlines, has also been in real estate, mortgage companies, things like that for a long time, over 10 years.
Oh.
And she decided that she wanted to get her real estate license. So I followed, kind of been watching and following my family a little bit, and then I'm like, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I do work, so I do have a 9 to 5, and I have been like trying to say, okay, I've been with them for 11 years, so I need to make that transition now. I'm ready to make that transition to get into something that I really really enjoy. And so the more that I got into the real estate, the more that I started really investigating it and watching the videos and all of that. And I loved Pace Morby. I watched
Yes.
his videos, and it would crack me up as he was having these videos, as he would talk to folks sometimes. But I also felt like, ooh, that would be such a challenge. Do I really want that challenge?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if you're going to do it, do it. Real estate is the way for me to make that step out of the 9 to 5 and be able to get
Yes.
into the life that I enjoy. So I took that leap and became a sub two student. And I will tell you, it wasn't necessarily for the mentorship, as I have found the community itself is just unbelievably amazing. Unbelievably
Really.
amazing. Yeah. And so, I mean, I've had some very, very good days. I've had some very, very bad days. I've lost
Mm.
some, but I don't care because it was a
Yeah,
learning process for
absolutely.
me. So I was able to learn, and now I understand like some of the things that I should do, what I shouldn't do. So my strategy I'm very focused on is wholesaling. I want to start with that first, because it's going to allow me, one, to continue to kind of learn through the process a little bit, learn through that process before I take on something. I think it's a major move to take on like a fix and flip, or to take on, like buy and hold.
Mhm.
So I thought the wholesaling's kind of the stepping stone. Really get into that, build up the coffers, and then make that move. And then by the time I'm ready to make that move into a fix and flip or to a buy and hold, then I'm ready to transition out of the 8 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a solid plan to me. Are
Yeah.
you doing more of your, like phone calls of, like, how you're trying to is that how you're doing it?
hmm
Wow.
So I do the calls myself, and I do agent outreach. I
Okay.
like agent outreach. I was doing. I thought I was a visionary. I thought I was this. I thought I was a pace. I don't even know how I could even think to compare oneself. I don't even know how I did that. But I thought, like, I'm a visionary. I'm going to go direct
Mhm.
to seller. I like talking to the seller as well. Maybe not so much. So I
Yeah.
decided that I'm really more of that. I started to have more success with the direct to agent. I love talking with them, having the conversations with them. I mean, they just seem to, it's like, well, I have this property or this property, sort of thing. So that's where I really started to get my success. So I'm like, let me hone in on that. So that is my focus.
Oh goodness. Yes, I can definitely see. I think when you're able to talk to the agents, it's just more of like an even playing ground, like that's
Yeah.
like a professional just level. It's just we're one
Yeah.
peer to the
Yeah.
next. There's
Mm-hmm.
not any kind of hierarchy there. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I would feel like I'd be comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm on gayer lending, so I'm part
Yeah.
of that group. So I am not sub two. I hear phenomenal things about sub two community.
Yeah.
Not there yet, I guess, but um, my goal is, of course, to like meet up with people like you know, who are looking for just deals and help. I just want to be that person who is helping them take down the deal. Like
Yes.
we're
Yeah.
all in it together. Let's get this
I will
done.
say all the pieces fit. All the pieces fit together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from. It makes me nervous to think about like, there's part of me that's like, okay, I could maybe do the wholesale thing. I can do it. And then like, nope, maybe later. I'll tip my toe. So I love that you're just going all in that. So that's great.
It just do we. I think it's like challenges on all sides. It doesn't matter, if it's just whatever comforts and speaks to you, whatever you get really comfortable with. And like you were saying, I get comfortable in talking with the agents.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I didn't mind talking with the sellers. It's just that to me, it was trying to really dig in and find that motivation. And, it's like they think the house is worth $1 million, but it's like it's only worth 100,000. I mean, like, seriously, what are we
Yeah.
talking? You know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes, like with the agents, I can reason a little bit with them. The
Yeah.
only struggle I think sometimes with the agents is that they don't understand like the creative side of it, the creative financial
Mhm.
side of it. They don't
Yeah.
get that much. So it does require a little bit more conversation with them to get them to understand it. But I like to educate, I like to teach. So, that's
Yeah.
not so bad. I think being a gator, I sometimes look at that as being tough because you guys are going to find the money.
Yeah.
You're going to find the money. You have the money, and now you've got to go and find the people who supposedly have the
Yeah.
opportunities, and then try to bring all that together. That in itself, I think, is a job.
Yeah, and it's one that I'm trying. I joined actually around the same time you did, and Gator. I joined in April, but I'll
Okay.
tell you, like life kind of took some turns in there, and so now it's kind of like back on track. Okay, let's get
Mm-hmm.
through the training, and
Mm-hmm.
that first deal, I'm telling you, it might as well be a mountain. Like it's like
Yes.
I know I have to get past the first
Yes.
um,
Yes.
the mental
Break the
barrier.
ice. Yeah.
Yes. So I know you said you had a couple things fall through and there were lessons learned. Like, have you done a complete first deal yet, or are you still searching for that first deal?
I'm really still searching for that first deal. I had two. One, the buyer, I thought that I had a buyer, and the buyer didn't show up.
Oh,
And so it fell through. And then it was another one where I was relying on um, someone who was like, I got the buyer kind of thing. And then it's like,
hmm.
okay, let's all get on the phone. And then the buyer dropped the price way lower than what I had dropped the price in. I'm like, it's
Oh,
not going to work. And
Yeah.
and I had a really I was disappointed in that one because I had a really good relationship with the seller, and I worked
Oh,
long and hard. I wouldn't say hard, but I worked a while just,
yeah.
developing that, cultivating that relationship with that seller. And we still talk now, as a matter of fact. I mean, I call the seller now. He sold it. He sold it for what he wanted for it, little less, but not what nearly what we were doing. So it was lessons learned. So I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, I think it's great that you're still in communication with that person because you never know what will come out of it later
You
on.
don't. But I mean, he's put me on to agents, quite frankly. He said, "Hey, call
Wow.
this agent. Have you talked to this agent?" So, I mean, he's Houston, born and raised, so knows the area very well, very well connected. So it actually, I was glad that I really like cultivated that relationship because he's kind of put me on to some other things, which is allowing me to, keep some things in my pipeline right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how many hours a week do you feel like? Because I mean, I can imagine juggling a normal 9 to 5. And then, of course, I mean, let's just be real. Like, you still have to go to the grocery store. You still have to go, like, live life, you know? So it's like, how are you working all of this in to try to get that first deal? And and I feel like Pace puts out so much content, which is so amazing, and he's very generous with it. But
Mhm.
in that in itself, I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's another one. There's
I get that. I get that.
yes.
It's like, but you know what? I'm going to tell you in all honesty, I've gotten to a point now where I know when to shut it down. So for
Mhm.
me, I was in a serious battle, like my 9 to 5. Like I said, I've been there 11 years. I like the company I work with. I love them. I
Yeah.
love the company that I work with. And so it was a battle between making sure that I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do there, but yet I have to put some focus and concentration in here as well. So I'm struggling between the days and, really like this hour I'm going to work on my real estate and this hour I'm going to work on, the 9 to 5. And it just got to be a point where it was way too much. So I've
Hmm.
come and to peace. I've got peace with the schedule that I set out. I know what I need to do. So every day I do something for my real estate. So when I
Hmm.
come out of my 9 to 5, I work from home. I shut the door and I don't go back in. I don't answer calls. I don't do any of that.
Mm.
And so from like 5 to like about 7 or 8, if I'm like studying, like in the vault, studying some, taking, watching the Paces videos there, I'll do that, or taking a class and do that. I will do something every single night, right?
Hmm.
And so if I have a couple of hours where I can make calls, I will do that as well. So I pick like my days. So Wednesdays are kind of days where after 5 o'clock, make the calls, which actually I think making the calls are best in the evenings anyway, but that's just me.
Hmm.
However, though, on the weekends I don't take off. Weekends, Saturday, Sunday, I'm all day working on making my phone calls, doing my marketing, doing like follow ups, things like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
and it
mean, that
works.
yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like it would work, and
Yeah, it
that
works. So
and as a person who kind of struggles with like time management in terms of like I'm an all or nothing sometimes type of
yeah,
person,
yep.
um, which is I guess I should say I feel like when you say that out loud, it sounds kind of like a careless person. It's like not where I'm saying it all.
But it's not.
It's
Yeah.
just it is like all I want to do is just okay, let's get this job. Like it just makes me like I want to get it done. I want to get it done. And then I was talking with another sub 2 student actually this morning on an interview, and she has 3 kids at different stages, much younger than mine. Mine are 11. I have two, 11 and 10. And she just kind of said something was like a reminder of like, the season of life that we're in. And I'm like, yes. okay, I need to bring it back and be like, okay, there has to be that balance
Yeah.
in terms of
Mhm.
seasons of life. And
Mhm.
so sometimes it's hard for me not to be like, I just want to go, 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 go. Um,
Mhm.
so that's kind of where I'm coming from in this. And
Understood.
it's it's a little hard to be
Mhm.
honest.
It's tough.
Um,
Because, like you
it
said,
is.
well, but you know what? And it was a reckoning, actually. It's, you can't say, and I always say this, you can't serve two masters at one time. You cannot.
Yeah, for sure.
You just can't
You
do it.
can't.
And so, and you can't beat yourself up. Oh, I used to say, I need to be more disciplined. I need to do this, and I'm not
Hmm.
setting my priorities. No. So it is
Yeah.
it is, scheduling it out. That I get, but
Yeah.
but give yourself grace. Is like,
Yeah.
I know, like, okay, I'm gonna take Saturday, maybe late in the afternoon. I'm gonna go get my grocery shopping done early on a Sunday morning when
Hmm.
nobody's in the store and it's nice and
Hmm.
quiet. I'm gonna go get my shopping done. But I set those times aside. It's just like, think about it. When we work out, I have to set that time aside to say, at
Yeah.
this time, this is what I'm going to do, and nothing's going to bother me.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Laura, it took me a long time to get to that place. A long,
Hmm.
because, like I said, it was a battle. I wanted to be able, I want to just sit here and I just want to dial, dial, dial. I just want to call. I got to get
Hmm.
50 calls out. Like, okay, well, you know, spread that out. Do it, give yourself grace, spread it out, do what you can do. But once you set and make your schedule and make that commitment, just stay focused, stay
Yeah.
focused. And that, for me, it just literally, I'll get up early in the morning, I'll write it out. This is what my day is going to look like. From my 9 to 5, when I leave that, I know exactly what I have to do during that time. When I'm done with that, here's for my real estate, here's what I have to
Hmm.
do. And I don't let anybody come in and deter me or to take my attention away from that. I just don't. But I'm
That
lucky
is.
because I don't have, my children are grown. It's just me and my dog. It's me
Hey,
and my
even the
dog.
dog. I feel like my dogs sometimes take up more time than my own children. I'm just like, why? And why am I spraying so much mental energy toward you right now? Like, I have literally kids and like humans in the house. No, that is so encouraging. Thank you so much for saying all those words because that really it makes so much sense.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can just get wrapped up in your brain and just not get out of the cycle,
Hmm.
So thank you
Yeah,
for your words. Okay,
absolutely.
so well, listen, it is almost our time is up. So I don't want to get off of here without finding out, what exactly like what are you looking for? How can people who listen to this like touch base with you and like, hey, Karol needs this and I know where she can get it. And how they can get in contact with you. I'd love to know those two things.
So I go like this. You know what? Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and we don't
Mhm.
know what we don't know. We don't know what to ask for because we don't know. We don't know what we need because we don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, what I am looking for right now, I think, is I would love to JV with someone
Mhm.
who is literally like, who has that outreach to agent and just be able to connect with them, and just follow the process all the way through. I would love that. I would love that.
I think it's great. Do you only want to focus in those two markets or are you open to other markets as well?
You know what? I'm like, a deal's a deal.
Yeah.
I don't care. Even though those are two markets are my areas, I don't care because I feel like, you go where the opportunities are. If the
Yeah.
opportunities in California, I will work with someone in California. You go where the
Yeah.
opportunities are or where you can find that. Like, for me, finding that JB, that person I can really partner with to be able to walk through. Like some of the older, I'm following up on some of the older leads that I had, someone that, maybe I'm missing something that could take a look at them, say, hey, let me take a look at the leads and let me see if I can help pull it through, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't care
Okay.
where it is. Yeah.
Okay. Where do you want these people to touch base with you?
So I do have my Calendary, but
Okay.
um, and you of course you can find me in the sub two
Okay.
group.
All
Definitely,
right.
I get up in the morning. I look more in my sub two than I look at anything else on Facebook. I look in my
Okay.
sub two
Well,
first.
maybe I'll join you over there sometime. We'll see.
But I'm in the Paces, the other group as well.
The creative financing one,
Yes,
or okay.
I'm
All
I'm
right.
in that
Well,
as well.
I will write out your name exactly how I'm seeing
Yeah.
it, and we'll just say, go find Carol,
Oh,
because you need to
beautiful.
know
Thank
her.
you.
You
Thank
need to know
you.
her. Well, thank you so much for your
I
time,
appreciate you. Of course.
and stick around for just a second while I end this thing, and
Okay.
then we'll touch base. Okay, hold on.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.